Yo, 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 Nico here. One of the problems that I had with over drinking as well as using too many drugs, really just abusing them, was the standard of relationships that I allowed to be around me. Um, the friendships or acquaintances that I had created, I didn't really have standards for the individuals that I engaged with. So some of their bad habits would leak over to me. Now, I can't blame anybody because I allowed them to influence me. But a problem that we have when we overdrink or when we overuse drugs is that we put ourselves around individuals that we normally wouldn't spend time with. Standards are important to have with your friendships, with your romantic relationships, and with your family members. When I say family members, I'm not always talking about blood. You might have a relationship like that where it is blood relation and that's your family. You may not have a relationship with blood relatives. Whoever you consider family, there's a standard that you should probably keep in that relationship. I know for me, I let that standard drop. I went below the standard that my family relationships required, so I didn't really have those during the times that I was over drinking and using. Indicator that you might have a problem with your drinking is that your family has become distant, and you might want to say, "Oh, it's their problem. It's because this, and that. They got a lot going on." Might be you drinking a lot, using a lot. Family relationships are important. The other important relationships that we have are romantic relationships and friendships. My grandmother used to tell me, "Dime con quien andes y te digo quién eres." Translates to, show me who you surround yourself with and I'll tell you what kind of man you are. That's what we're talking about here. The standards that you have for the friends that you keep impacts the way that you conduct life. If you're surrounded by individuals who have no problem drinking every day, who don't want to talk about maybe not drinking or doing other things, if that is you guys' main reason for hanging out is because you choose to use the same watering hole, because they make you feel comfortable, because they got just as big as gut as you do, because they can drink just as much as you can drink, those are some pretty low standards. Don't get me wrong, I lived in those standards, so I understand that pain. But you have to raise the standards that you allow around you. Romantic relationships, same thing. We all have different needs and desires for the romantic relationships. What I would ask is, what kind of standards do you have for that person? And what kind of standards do you have in that relationship as well? If you're struggling with distant family members that used to be really close and you can't really figure out why, it might be the drinking. If you can't seem to keep a romantic relationship going because something always gets in the way, and that something seems to be your drinking, because they just can't handle you when you drink, might be a problem that you want to address. Friends, well, if you're hanging around friends that have low standards, just like yours, that think over drinking and not taking care of themselves, that over drinking to solve problems, that over drinking to celebrate everything is okay, you need to change those standards. Quick tip, when you change those standards, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you do and you are able to see a different perspective. That makes it a whole lot easier. What are your standards? What are your standards in relationships? And if you don't have any, why? Remember, the goal around here is not to be an angel, but just to get better. Just to do better today. That's it. Do better today.